Getting to Know the World's Greatest Artists, written and illustrated by Mike Venezia. Van Gogh. Vincent van Gogh was one of the most tragic artists who ever lived. Nothing ever seemed to go right for him, and he wasn't very happy. He never even smiled in his self-portraits. Van Gogh was born in Holland in 1853 and died in France in 1890. Unlike most artists, Van Gogh didn't decide to become a painter until he was grown up. He tried lots of other things first. He worked at an art gallery selling paintings. He tried teaching. He worked in a bookstore, and he was a preacher like his dad. None of these things made him very happy. Then one day, he decided to be an artist. Here he is as an art dealer. You call that a good painting? My 5-year-old could do better. And he's thinking, this isn't making me happy. Here he's a teacher. Oh, the kids drew a nasty picture of him on the board. He's thinking, this isn't making me happy either. Look at that. A bookseller. No, I said that one. Can't you hear? This definitely isn't making me happy. Here he is as a preacher thinking, I think I'll be an artist. That might make me happy. Oh, messy. Van Gogh always tried his best at whatever he did. So he went to different art schools to learn everything he could about drawing and painting. His early drawings were of the poor people he used to help when he was a preacher. These are all drawings, probably done in charcoal, black chalk. There are certain things you can see in these drawings that show up later in his famous paintings, such as the strong lines and shapes. You can see the feelings he had for everyday people. Van Gogh's first paintings were also of poor people he had been helping. In this painting, the family was so poor they had only a few potatoes to eat for dinner. They looked tired and not very happy. The potato eaters. The colors in Van Gogh's early paintings are dark and sad. He wanted everyone to know how hard the lives of the poor people were. Van Gogh kept using dark colors until he discovered some very colorful Japanese artwork. He loved the bright colors and strong lines and shapes that he saw. Here he is. I wonder what that bright stuff is. And the man selling the art is saying it's called yellow, blue, red, and orange. Soon Van Gogh's paintings started to look much more colorful. Look at the difference between the gloomy potato eaters and the painting above, which was only done a few years later. This is the potato eaters. We know a lot about how Van Gogh felt and why he did certain things because he was always writing letters to his younger brother, Theo. Theo always helped his brother. He encouraged him to paint and sent him money when he could. Because Van Gogh was always sending and receiving letters, he got to know his postman pretty well. He painted pictures of him and used the postman's wife as a model in many of his paintings as well. There he is. In 1886, Vincent moved to Paris, France to join Theo. Paris was the center of the art world then. Since Theo was in the business of buying and selling paintings and Vincent wanted to be an artist, it seemed like a pretty good place to be. Theo introduced Vincent to a lot of painters while they lived in Paris. Vincent, I'd like you to meet Toulouse-Lautrec, Émile Bernard, Camille Pissarro, Georges Seurat, Paul Signac, and Paul Gauguin. And he's saying, gee, Theo, I was hoping to meet somebody famous. Hardly anyone knew it then, but many of those painters would become world-famous artists someday. A couple of years later, Vincent van Gogh decided to leave Paris and move to a small country town called Arlas. Van Gogh thought Arlas would be a great place for artists to get together, to paint and talk about their different ideas. He tried very hard to get as many artists as he could to join him. The only one to try it out was Paul Gauguin, although he wasn't really crazy about the idea, and it turned out to be a big mistake. Here's Gauguin, the other painter, saying, your cooking is terrible, your paintings are terrible. I'm a better artist than you are. I wish I never came here, and worst of all, you never pick anything up. This place is a mess. Van Gogh saying, you are such a grouch. Gauguin didn't seem to like anything Van Gogh did in Arlas. They argued a lot. Van Gogh probably decided to listen to Gauguin about cleaning the place up because his bedroom looks pretty neat in this painting. Bedroom at Arlas. There it is. Finally, after a very bad argument, Gauguin decided to leave Van Gogh and return to Paris. Van Gogh didn't know what to do. He really wanted things to work out well with Gauguin. Van Gogh had always had problems during his life with the way he felt. sometimes he would get so angry and upset that no one could make him feel better. This time, he became so angry and upset, he cut off part of his ear. Van Gogh painted pictures of himself after this happened. It looks like he wished he hadn't done it. Vincent van Gogh never really got better after Gauguin had left. Sometimes he was too angry to paint, and sometimes he was too sad to paint. But when he felt good, he painted better than ever. He made the stars and the starry nights seem like they're really shining. The trees in this painting look like flames, and it feels like the whole picture is moving. In this painting, Van Gogh made the sun look really hot. You almost feel like you should put sunglasses on to look at it. Van Gogh usually put his paint on very thick. Sometimes he painted so fast he didn't even mix his colors. He used paint right out of the tubes. Van Gogh used so much paint he was always running out. Sometimes he stopped buying food in order to buy more paint. So he was hungry a lot of the time, and he wasn't healthy. I'd like to order some lemon yellow, pea green, cherry red, and I'll have an orange for dessert. He's thinking about food while buying paint. Hardly anyone was interested in Van Gogh's work while he was alive. He only sold a few drawings and maybe one or two paintings. People in the 1880s and 1890s just weren't used to the bright, moving pictures that Van Gogh made. Today, things are different. People have learned how beautiful Vincent van Gogh's art is. Now his paintings are some of the most popular in the world. Saying, guess what? You finally sold a painting. Maybe I have a future in this after all. This may have been Van Gogh's last painting. Some people think it shows how angry and upset he must have been feeling because he painted a scary sky, roads that led to a dark background, and crows that looked like bats. Soon after this painting was finished, Van Gogh had died. Van Gogh made his paintings seem alive with color. His colors are so bright and beautiful, you can almost smell the flowers he painted or feel the bright sun. His brushstrokes give everything a feeling of movement. Trees, stars, and people feel alive. Maybe more than any other artist, Van Gogh's feelings came out in his paintings. That's why Vincent van Gogh is one of the world's greatest artists. The